On September 15, 2017, the Cassini spacecraft, after 2 decades of loyal service, made its final dive into Saturn's atmosphere, what many called a poetic end to a legendary mission. Scientists believed they had seen it all: the swirling hexagons of Saturn's North Pole, the icy geysers of Enceladus, the methane lakes of Titan. The images were archived, the data considered complete, and the mission officially closed. But Cassini didn't just fall, it sent something back. Hidden deep within a series of seemingly ordinary visuals, a discovery wasn't made until years later, when a powerful quantum AI scanned the final frames. What it found left even the most skeptical minds silent. This wasn't some blurry shadow or digital glitch, it was a structured, intelligent pattern, a signal that had been hiding in plain sight. A message encoded not in sound or light, but in geometry, mathematics, and silence. A message that seemed to say, you weren't just watching Saturn. We were watching you. Stay with us. What Cassini captured before its final breath might be the first undeniable proof that something or someone has been waiting on the edge of Saturn all along. The mission had already been hailed as a triumph, providing humanity with the clearest views ever of Saturn and its moons. Thousands of high-resolution images were taken, processed, categorized, and then sat untouched in digital archives for years. Among them was a cluster of images taken just minutes before Cassini's disintegration, images praised for their aesthetic beauty but thought to contain nothing more. Or so it seemed. It wasn't until 2025, when a private lab applied quantum image processing to enhance faint cosmic data, that something strange surfaced. Buried in Cassini's final frames were subvisual echoes, repeating geometrical distortions that didn't match any known atmospheric behavior. These weren't flaws or compression errors. They were patterns identical across different angles, frames, and timestamps. Something was there, and it had made sure we would eventually see it. The AI used to reprocess these images wasn't ordinary, it was a quantum neural network capable of scanning beyond visible light and identifying structured mathematical symmetries. Originally designed to denoise interstellar images, the AI instead found intentional structures, repeating Fibonacci spirals, prime number sequences, and golden ratios subtly woven into Saturn's atmosphere like a watermark. At first, researchers thought it was a computational hallucination, an artifact of the algorithm. But the AI kept finding them, and the patterns only grew clearer. They formed alignment grids radiating from specific coordinates on Saturn's surface, coordinates that matched magnetic anomalies previously dismissed as data noise. It became undeniable, this was no software glitch. This was a signal, and it had been waiting for the right machine to hear it. As researchers pushed the AI further, they discovered that the shapes weren't just pretty designs, they were numerical codes, sequences built on mathematical constants familiar to humanity, like Euler's number and prime patterns. These numbers were embedded as pixel arrangements across different image layers, as if something out there had understood human science and was responding in kind. The structure mirrored the logic behind humanity's golden record sent with Voyager: use universal math to communicate intelligence. But this time, the message wasn't outbound, it was inbound. Something had answered. And the location of the patterns matched Saturn's most unstable regions, places where Earth-based sensors had never retrieved clean data. Now we know why. It wasn't natural instability, it was encryption. A cloak, not to prevent detection, but to delay understanding until the right tool, the right moment, and the right civilization finally arrived. Then came the most chilling discovery. Cassini had been programmed to take a final burst of 12 rapid images before its signal was lost forever. Only 11 were ever decoded. The 12th frame is missing, not corrupt or damaged, but intact and unreadable. The raw binary packet exists, but no tool on Earth, not even the AI, has been able to crack it. It's as if this last image activated a security lock, an encryption layer not designed by humans. Some experts now believe this image may contain a direct representation, maybe even a symbol, that would have made everything unambiguous. But someone, or something, didn't want us to see it. Not yet, and maybe not ever. As researchers continued cross-referencing Cassini's final patterns with Saturn's environment, a new theory began to take shape. One that didn't just involve the planet itself, but its moons. Enceladus, Titan, and Dion, all moons Cassini had studied in detail, seemed to hold geographical alignments echoing the same ratios found in the anomalous images.
And here's the twist, those ratios also corresponded to ancient Earth symbology, spiral petroglyphs, pyramid alignments, and numerical ratios found in forgotten megalithic structures.
Was this a coincidence? Or was something using Saturn's system to mirror the intelligence already present on Earth? Some scientists began referring to it as the Saturn Code, a system of cosmic geometry that appeared to span both deep space and human history. At the center of this code, the final Cassini transmission hovered like a riddle wrapped in fire. While most of the data was made publicly accessible, whistleblowers within space research organizations began leaking snippets of internal communication emails, audio logs, even private lab footage. What emerged was deeply unsettling. Some of the AI's early outputs were immediately classified. A quiet, undocumented decision had been made to withhold any frames where the geometric patterns formed recognizable shapes, especially those resembling language or symbols.
In one frame, a triangular formation with perfectly symmetrical edges appeared over Saturn's southern hemisphere.
In another, a sequence of pulses matched the rhythm of Morse code. Scientists involved in the project were reportedly silenced, some reassigned, others bound by strict non-disclosure agreements, forbidden even to discuss what they had found. It was no longer just a scientific puzzle, it had become a matter of control over who gets to decide when humanity is ready for the truth.
A rift has since formed within the global scientific community.
On one side are those who argue that the patterns are merely natural phenomena, exaggerated by quantum image processing.
They blame pareidolia, our innate tendency to perceive patterns in randomness.
On the other side are data scientists, cryptographers, and mathematicians who insist that no natural process could produce such precise ratios across images taken from varying angles, distances, and times.
The signal doesn't just repeat, it evolves. It appears to react.
And that missing 12th frame, now nicknamed the eye, is seen by many as a failsafe, a final gatekeeper holding a message meant only to be understood when we're truly ready. But who or what set that threshold?
While NASA maintains silence, a global community of independent researchers has erupted.
Online forums, code repositories, and private labs are now obsessed with cracking Cassini's final transmission. Some claim to have made progress decrypting the unreadable 12th frame, reporting glimpses of strange architecture or symbolic shapes.
Others note that the file's checksum doesn't match typical error codes, suggesting intentional obfuscation, as if the image is locked and will only reveal itself when triggered by a specific external input.
One rogue researcher even proposed that the trigger isn't digital at all, it could be an event, a rare celestial alignment, a spike in solar radiation, or even a human-level discovery. The kind of moment that permanently shifts our understanding. Until then, the world waits.
But the countdown has already begun.
And Cassini's final gift may be far more than a photo, it may be a door.
Cassini wasn't just a machine.
It was a witness, a voyager that slipped silently into the unknown with no weapons, no flags, only the eyes of an entire civilization and its boundless curiosity.
We believed we were the only ones watching. We were wrong.
Its final images, those encrypted patterns and the elusive 12th frame, were not malfunctions. They were markers.
Signs left along a trail by something far ahead of us. Something intelligent. Something ancient. Something patient. Now, years after Cassini's disintegration, the echoes of its last breath are being interpreted not just by humans, but by machines built to think beyond us. And what they're revealing is shaking the foundation of what we believed space exploration to be. Maybe we were never the explorers.
Maybe we were the observed, the studied, the predicted.
One final image remains locked, waiting.
Like a cosmic time capsule, not meant for the moment it was taken, but for the moment we're ready to understand it. If you've made it this far, you're not just a viewer, you're part of the awakening. Share this message before the 12th image is cracked.
Subscribe, because this is only the beginning. And comment below, what do you think Cassini was meant to show us? And who or what placed the message there?
The silence of space has been broken.
Now it's up to us to decide what to do with the truth.